Hey everybody, how y'all doing? My name's Ed. Hopefully in 2023 we're going to attempt the AT. If the good Lord's willing, between him and I, hopefully we can make this happen. I'm 66 years old, still gainfully employed, working every day, but looking to retire soon so we can give this AT business a try. We've kind of had the dream to be the AT, and you know, a dream won't chase you, so you have to chase that dream. I want to thank you for stopping a second and checking out my channel. Hopefully you'll find it a little interesting. I'm looking to vlog my journey to the AT. It's kind of take it from when it was a dream in 21 to an ambition in 22 to hopefully through fruition in 23. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the what of what I'm trying to do on this channel and what I hope to accomplish. Like a lot of people, I want to do the channel just so family and friends can follow along on my journey. But more than just the journey of the AT, I wanted to share the whole journey, the journey from the beginning. Like I said earlier, I'm 66 and I never really backpacked. I've camped out before, but never for multiple days at a time or hiked very far. Actually, my wife and I and a friend actually hiked the AT for a little few miles close to Laurel Falls. So that was kind of a hope this time around that when and if I do the AT that I can make it to Laurel Falls to see the falls in person. I've seen it in videos, but anyway, back to what this channel, what I want to share is kind of the whole journey. And I started with the idea back in the summer of 21 that year I was going to turn 65, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that number. Not so much the number, but what it meant. I was going to be a senior citizen, and there's things I want to do, things I want to experience. I know some people, they get to retirement age and they retire, and I've known a few people that within less than a year they're gone. And I wanted a little more than that, so I didn't want to have just a lifetime of working and that be it. So I wanted to leave a little bit, maybe a little legacy, we'll call it. But anyway, I came up with the idea that if I was going to do the AT, if I really wanted to do the AT, that I couldn't just one day get up and go do the AT. I'm not that way. I thought for sure I needed to see if I could. So I came up with a plan. The plan was to go to southern Indiana, which I live in mid-north Indiana. There's a trail there called the Knobstone Trail, or the KT. They kind of talk about it as being a mini AT. So, and supposedly people hike it as a prep for the AT. So I came up with a plan to do a one-day hike, just a day hike there at the trail, and see how far I could go in a day. And then after that, if I could do it at all, then the next plan was to do a through hike of the Knobstone, which, depending on how you go, it's anywhere from 47 miles to 56 or so. There's a couple of loops that you can do on one end, but it starts in Dean Lake recreational area and ends up at Delaney Park with a distance of almost 47 miles. And I've never through hiked that kind of distance. I've camped out overnight and never really hiked much, especially with a backpack and that kind of thing. But then I thought, well, if I could do that, then the next step would be to go to South Carolina and do the Foothills Trail in South Carolina. So I hope to vlog those experiences and post them on my channel down the road. But for right now, we're just telling you about the plan. And then if I could through hike the Foothills Trail, which is 76 miles, then the next would be the AT, to make an attempt at the AT. So that's kind of the what of what's going on and what I hope to share on my channel. I want to say too that without the support of my amazing wife and my family and friends, that there's just no way that this attempt at the AT could ever happen. But they are being very supportive, and they give us half a chance of trying this. But I mean, they're just amazing. I can't say enough about the support they're giving me, and it's just amazing. Now I want to talk about the why that I want to do the AT. I'm not quite sure I can answer that completely. I've never had the good Lord put something so intense on my heart. It's just something that I decided, or whatever, that I needed to do. I've worked towards it, and it's just amazing. But I guess a lot like other people, it's the adventure of it, or because it's there, take your pick. But I also, like I spoke earlier about the legacy, I've got 3 grandchildren, and I've got 2 granddaughters that I've not seen for a long time. And I kind of thought that if I recorded this adventure and journey, and maybe someday they'll see it and maybe learn a little bit about me, who I was and what I thought, what I believed. I knew my grandparents on my father's side, and they went through some adventures in their lifetime. Not necessarily all good ones, but that's life for everybody. But I never knew my grandparents on my mother's side, but yet I understood that they originally immigrated from Germany and lived in Ohio, and then later from Ohio they moved to Indiana. And I always kind of wondered, why they made that trip or change. And they had to have somewhat of a adventurous spirit to go through all that. I'm sure that wasn't an easy journey, no more than the AT will be an easy journey. I look for that to be hard, but yet maybe rewarding enough to do. But yeah, I hope to experience whatever the AT has to offer me. And there again, like I say, hopefully, maybe someday, I'll probably never know if they do or don't, but maybe someday they will get to see it. But for me, it would have been interesting to know my grandparents, so I'm sure there'd be an aspect that they would enjoy knowing a little bit about their grandparents. So that's part of the reason why I want to do the AT. And the last thing I want to talk about is my fears on the AT. Probably because of my age, falling and getting hurt, and that being the end of my attempt at the AT. It's definitely a fear, you know, a fear of whether my knees and ankles and feet can even just do the AT. You know, I've through hiked twice now, and have gotten through pretty well without too many aches and pains, but that's not hiking every day for months on end. So there again, that worries me. I injured one of my ankles several years ago. The doctors called it a super sprain. Said I'd been better off if I'd have broke it, but I didn't. But it laid me up on crutches for a while. So far, so good with that. I worry about my knees because of my age. I've spent a lifetime working on concrete floors, walking around on concrete floors, being overweight. That can't have been good for them. But there again, you know, with the grace of God, they've been okay. And speaking of God, me being a Catholic and trying to live that faith, it's important to me to attend Mass on Sunday, and I'm a member of the Knights of Columbus. So just a shout out, if there's any Knights of Columbus members out there, or for that matter anyone, trail angel, that would be willing to shuttle me back and forth from the trail to Mass, it would be greatly appreciated. You know, God bless you. And so just a shout out right now that I can use all the help I can get for that. It's a definite fear for me. Another fear for me is my family at home. While I'm away, my wife will be at home, and worrying about her and how things are going at home will be a definite worry. That'll be a part of the mental struggle that I'm sure I'll experience on the trail. I know they talk about the part of the trail being mental. I think I've experienced a little bit of that, and yes, that is almost, in my experience, to be harder than the physical part of the trail. It definitely is a mental thing that you have to work through. But you know, my wife and I have been married, by the time I attempt the AT, 48 years, and we've always done things together. This will be a kind of a first time apart, and it'll be an experience for both of us. So hopefully things go well, but you don't know. You know, life happens. So that's a definite fear for me. I hope also to vlog, you know, I've talked about the plan on the things I wanted to do to try to see if I could do the AT. Well, I also hope to show you the things that I went through prepping to even do each step of the plan that I had to do the AT. The things that I kind of put myself through. You know, I started out at a weight, we'll talk about weight, at 285 pounds. And when I went through the KT day hike and the KT through hike, then I set a goal for myself to be down to 200 pounds when I attempted the Foothills Trail. So I'll hopefully vlog a little more about that, but that was my goal, and some of the prep things that I did. Like I say, I'll post other vlogs about that as we go along, but I hope to show you what I did. not to be bragging at all. It's merely just to show and maybe encourage someone else to try the same thing. You know, life's here to live, so you don't want to spend it on the couch all the time. So I thank you again for stopping, and if you think it's something worthwhile to follow me as I do, please subscribe and like and all that good stuff. I don't look to make any money. I just love to vlog. All right.